And here we are, continuing our trip to Antofagasta, and the second part of this trip will have a completely different picture. This is the real moonscape, with any life seeming to be rather an exception than a norm. Nevertheless, people still connected the whole region with the web of highways and power lines, and it left us speechless how strong was their will to survive in this absolutely lifeless wastelands. Here is an interesting safety solution. When the visibility ahead allows you to see only one triangle, drop the speed down to 40. When two, you can proceed at the speed of 60. Have you seen it in your country? Honestly, we have a weakness that you can notice while watching this vlog. That special feeling of gratitude towards the country that let us in, so we could both enjoy and learn more of its life. Therefore, sometimes you just cannot force yourself to say anything bad about it. In this episode, I will fight this killer of objectiveness, and we'll start right now, from the toll gate, where the lady told us that the nearest gas station is about 60 kilometers ahead. Here you might say that we're a couple of dummies staying with an empty tank for the third time already during this trip, but come on, this previous one was 250 kilometers away. And there is no plan B, you either know it or not, and that's sick. I used to keep 100 kilometers in mind to keep relaxed, but 300 is a disaster. I could probably understand that traveling in a country with the worst infrastructure and less paved parts of the road, but when you're integrated into a perfect network of highways, it's at least weird to keep driving always in an urge for gasoline. That's a bomb in Chile. Atacama Desert, what a place! I feel a deep temptation to tell you more about this desert from the science nerd perspective, but all these wonderful things are completely out of my field, so I'm gonna speak about the things I know. For example, food and history. Just take a look, they put avocado everywhere, and they win. Surprisingly, we encountered a very decent pachlava in a road cafe, and this is time to note that besides the high Nazi German commandments, Chile gave refuge to numerous Chinese and Arabian immigrants, and a good baklava is always worth a stop. Our last stop before Antofagasta was a tiny town, La Caldera. Dairy filled some great footage that doesn't require any commands. It's just the embodiment of a peaceful life in the middle of nowhere. During the ride, you can follow the Route of 5 or, almost without any time losses, drive left and enter the National Park of Panasucar, a wild and picturesque refuge for penguins, llamas and coyotes, none of which we had an opportunity to see though. But what we saw was pretty much enough to stay amazed. Enormous beauty and the triumph of the nature over man. By the way, what do you think about us integrating a doggo moment in every episode? However, these are our last 200 kilometers before reaching Antofagasta. I suggest you to forget all for these couple of moments and imagine yourself cruising the surface of Mars, because it absolutely doesn't seem possible on Earth. And I will be your DJ during the ride. We are in the city of Antofagasta, a green oasis bursting with life among the lifeless wastelands of the Atacama. Originally part of Bolivia, Antofagasta became Chilean territory after the War of the Pacific, a conflict over available nitrate deposits. The city rapidly expanded due to mining, particularly for copper and nitrates, which continued to be vital to its economy. Well, that's all for now. I hope this video was interesting, and if it was, you know how to indulge the others. Hit like and subscribe buttons and stay tuned. Hasta pronto!